us are in that season where finances are going to be a big deal, but hey, take it easy. We got you. And of course, we're not alone. We have Rotus with us this evening. Good evening to you, Rotus.
Good evening, Shopware. Good evening, Ayo. Good to be with you guys again for the hump of the week. Yes,
and Rotus,
yes.
Can I say how happy I am that today we're going to be talking about the rules of your personal finance for 2023, because it was me staring sadly at my bank card this morning, just lamenting when I saw the charges that were coming in on my email from December and the beginning of the year. I was like, wow, somebody has to help me with this. And just like that, like a sign, like a message, he sent in, this is what we're going to be talking about. So it'll be a really interesting conversation, especially for me, because I need it. We're in the slender month.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes.
Yeah. And if you don't need it, tell us how you're doing it. Thank you very much.
Please.
Yeah.
So this month is, as we know, this month is going to be tough, right? Because everybody got paid before Christmas and they've probably spent almost everything. And so today is only the 4th. Today is only the 4th of January. So
it's so long.
It's about to be a really long month. But yeah, I mean, I look, even me myself, I break some of these rules. So I think I should have called it guidelines. In my tweets that I sent out, I said guidelines. So it's just some guidelines for folks to follow as the year progresses. The key is to try and have more money at the end of the year than you did at the beginning, if possible. If possible. That's the mantra. So it's going to take discipline, it's going to take planning, it's going to take a whole bunch of things. But so I think the first thing for us to talk about is to monitor spending. I think that's before jumping into Bitcoin and foreign exchange and stocks and all this other stuff, let's just do the simple things that everybody that's listening can do. Chopper was just talking about all the alerts coming on her account, right? So try. I know this is not, we all are busy people. We have a lot. I don't know if Shopware or Ayo, you have any methods you can share, but just using your as Shopware said, alerts that come into your phone. But it will be good to know what's coming into your phone so you're not surprised later, right? So you want to have an idea. Okay, when an alert comes in, you're like, oh yeah, I spent that there. Oh yeah, okay, I spent that thing last week. Oh, what's this? Where did this one come from?
Oh, Rotus, do you know how many times I've done that? Where I'm just like, somebody stole my card. What is this spending? And you're like, oh, that was petrol.
That's what happened to me last week because it was confusing. What exactly is this?
Yeah. So one thing I do, and one thing that really helped me, or no, actually not helped me, it shocked me into being a miser, was I just tallied at the end of the month how much I had spent on takeaway.
Ooh.
And I was so shocked.
Say what now?
That I cooked for the next month.
By force.
Anybody who knows me knows that that's like, whoa, what happened? I cooked every day. I was cooking in the kitchen. I was like, takeaway is the work of the devil.
Exactly.
Yeah.
See,
and it all came around from the list.
Yeah, hitting the point. So a lot of us have eaten out. I eat out myself. And I again, like I said, I break my own rules, right? Try and cook. As for those that are listening, as Shopper said, if you cook your own food, you will save money. Now I know, because I think the last time I said this, Yinka Bolu sent a message saying, what am I talking? Rice is 100% higher. Everything is more expensive. But still, cooking your own food is more, cost effective than eating out. So, but then, see, I'm not telling people that you shouldn't eat out. If Friday comes up, you have friends or family visiting or something, you can eat out, want to celebrate something, but just try and minimize it, because at some point it's so easy to just pick up the phone, order something, and then have it delivered, and but it costs money because those people, prices cost money for the restaurant and so on. So try and monitor, but try and cook at your food at home. If you do,
and also, Rotus, let me give you a tip on this, right? Your food tastes much sweeter if you have the amounts that you spent on takeaway just staring at you.
Exactly.
If you've got the list, if you got the tally, just look at it as you're eating your rice, and the rice tastes like manna from heaven.
That would make the meal even more amazing than it was originally. Trust me.
Exactly. Another thing is to set goals, right? And I know everybody does this, New Year's resolution, this and that and this. The goals I'm talking about, it doesn't need to be anything extravagant or something that will put pressure on you. Just a simple thing of saying, okay, I will eat out half as much as I do during the week. Whatever you spend during the week, you've already saved that. So let's say you spend, I don't know, 20,000 naira a week on takeout. If you say, okay, I will aim to spend 10,000 naira a week, don't need to do anything crazy. Don't say I'll spend 0 naira a week eating out. That's not possible. So just tell yourself, I'll cut that in half. 10,000 naira a week is 40K in a month. I mean, that's almost 500,000 in a year. Is that not? I mean, it's a lot of money, right? After 10 months is 400,000. So just try. Just do something simple and just say I will. So that's a goal. That is a goal. And people think goals, they think I'm going to buy a Mercedes at the end of the year, or I'm going to buy a pair of red bottom shoes or something. No. But, just cut your spending.
Rotus, but are there certain ways that we can actually say, I've set this goal to actually stick to the goal? It's one thing to set a goal, but to stick to it.
Yeah. Ayo, we're all human beings. The only thing I can do on this show is to give people the advice. So, I mean, look, I don't know if you guys can do. I know you can write notes, and some people cut their debit cards. That one is extreme. Some have family members or friends. Keep them honest. If you're married, you can tell your husband or wife to work. If you have a best friend, if call at work, if the two of you are going to lunch together, Ayo can remind Sope, you said you won't spend this much. So maybe get some help, external help. But at the end of the day, this thing falls on you as a human being. There's
Don't
only
rely
so
on
much.
Your best friend. Friends of a feather stick together.
Big time.
And it comes with spending habits. But Rotus, actually, when we're asking this question, something that someone I know does is that they automate the money transfers. So it works if you've got your money coming in at the same time every month.
Right.
So every payday, automatically, half of their money goes into savings accounts that they can't touch. Then a part of their money goes into an account for enjoyment. So they have this person has different cards, different accounts, different cards. So there's a card for enjoyment. Once that account is gone, once it's zero, you can't do anything.
No
You're
more
like,
enjoyment.
we eat at home for the rest of the month. Then there's a card for utilities and a card for emergencies as well. So the money just goes automatically into the different accounts.
That makes sense. That actually makes sense. You're separating.
Perfect. That is so excellent. So try that out. Yeah, excellent. So try it out, and that there has to be some form of discipline. The discipline has to come from somewhere. So excellent point there from Sope. Okay, so that's savings, right? Let's talk about making money. That should be another thing that we should look at. So side hustles, this internet medium that we are using right now. Whatever skill you have, Sope, I know you're an author, for example, you're publishing books and so on. Folks that do whatever skill you have that will lead people to pay you, you should try and develop that more over this year. And in addition to whatever it is that I host events, mostly business events. I mean, look, I'm sure you have something that you do outside of work and radio. So for those listening, it's early in the year. This is the time. This is the time before you get bogged down with everything else to map out the full year and say, okay, I'm going to do a number of these events in February. We're going to do this in March. We're going to do this in April. And just life happens. Something might come and interrupt it, but fine. Just set it out so that at least it's because, part of the personal finance journey, yes, cutting spending will get you there faster because you save money, which builds over time, but you also want to try and make money. And I don't know, I'll be surprised if Yinka doesn't send a message. They remind me that this is Nigeria. We have to be real about where we are and so on and so forth. I know, but you've got to try and develop your skills. Now, if the next point is if you don't know what skills you have, then find them, right? Test yourself on a number of things. Are you a good writer? Are you good with musical instruments? Are you good at teaching people? Are you good at speaking? Are you good at what? Find something. So, and this
ask
is
the
the early
people
time
around
to find
you,
out.
actually. If you want to find out, ask the people around you because they notice things that you don't notice about yourself. Yeah. And by the way, speaking about comments, Yeah, join the conversation. Send your messages to 0809 440 981 up on WhatsApp. You can use the hashtag personalfinance981 on Twitter. And we are also streaming live on youtube.com/smooth981FM Lagos. You can go over there and you can leave a comment up on the live chat as well. Okay, so back into it. So yes, 2023, like you said, now in the month of sober reflection, as you think about how much of my savings did I spend last month, now is the time for you to figure out a way to monetize your talent, your skill, monetize it for the year of 2023.
Exactly.
All right, Rotus, what next?
You must. Now, another thing that is unique to Nigeria is networking. Nigeria is a country where who you know will get you everywhere. Some people now say, okay, Rotus, I don't know anybody. How do I get to know people? You must put yourself out there. It's almost like giving dating advice. If you want to meet somebody, you have to be out in the public sphere to meet someone. Please, you do not have to be a business person to have a business card. You can go to any of these centers. In fact, you can make your own business card, but then unless you are good at graphics, I suggest you just go to a center where they can make one for you. Just put your name,
Canva.
Whatever skill you have. Yeah, right. And attend events where this thing is making so easy now, where you've got an Eventbrite, for example, just based on your interest and your location, they will show you events going on that are tailored to you. And now, of course, to be safe, you want to maybe go with a friend or family or something, have some company, but make business cards, just go out there and meet people, right? At some point, you will create a network. All of us now that have been doing this for a while, we all have people. If I think of somebody in manufacturing, I have somebody in banking, technology, everybody has, at some point, you will grow your network because that's just it. So that goes hand in hand with the side hustles and getting a client base and all these things. You've got to plan that out. So again, the year has just started. People are still putting together events. It is now that you're going to get a fresh outlook on the number of events taking place and what you can attend. Be social. Get out there. It is your key to building a network.
Now, as someone who is a self-confessed introvert, that can be a bit difficult, right? You too, Ayo? Yeah. So and there was a hard lesson that I learned in Nigeria, because Nigeria, man, networking, Rotus, you hit the nail on the head. Networking is really key in Nigeria. It's a difficult lesson for an introvert to learn, but you're going to have to psych yourself up. And what you can do is also have days. Let's say if you've had to go out, you have a day after where you just decompress and know that you're in the safety of your home. But you will find that the more you go out, the easier it becomes. It might not necessarily ever become easy, but at least you will be you'll become desensitized to the anxiety of having to go out and network and meet new people. Oh, shock the horror. So yeah.
Yeah,
I just thought I would put that out.
And another thing,
big time on this one.
Yeah, of course.
You were saying, Rotus, another thing.
Find even if you're an introvert. I mean, there's at least one person you are comfortable around: a friend, a close friend, a cousin, a family member. Have them go with you to some of these events if they can. At least you have a safe space, somebody that's with you, and then over time maybe you can pick it up on your own, and then so that's also an option as well. Are we close to a break or we're still good?
So let's actually go into a break before we get to our next guideline. We've decided to call them guidelines here on Personal Finance. So if you just tuned in, this is a Personal Finance on the Smooth Drive with Rotus, giving you guidelines on how you can live your life for peace of mind, personal finance-wise, for 2023. On the other side of the break, we'll come back with more of these guidelines. And if you think, oh my goodness, I've missed out on so much good stuff, always go over to youtube.com/smooth981FM Lagos. You can catch the replay, or you can just rewind while we're on break and then come back to, the real life thing. All right, we'll catch you after this.
It's all about your finances made easy, because financial education.
You don't go anywhere.
Do you know what? It's for so many years I did not go anywhere, and I still don't like going places. I'm not going to lie. So I will not go to concerts because.
Are you serious?
I don't
It can
like
be so
going places.
stressful.
It is so stressful. However, I have noticed that most of my engagements and most of my work and stuff that helps my bank account comes from going out to meet people. Because
True.
so what happens is, and for everybody on YouTube, this is how I do it, right? What happens is if I go out to an event, I might just find one person that I click with or two, and then I spend, some time with them. Then we start discussing, where we know all what the other person does, and then at least you've made one good memory. Don't worry.
Okay.
Yeah.
So after this, so when you get in contact with them, they can now introduce you to other people as well.
Exactly,
So
and then from there
it's not bad.
it goes
Right.
like that.
Yeah. That's exactly how it works. Exactly.
All right, we are back in. All right, here we are on the other side of the break. It is Personal Finance on the Smooth Drive.
That's right. We've been talking about guidelines for personal finances in 2023, and Rotus has been sharing these guidelines with us, giving us a different perspective and, of course, ways by which we can make sure 2023 is a more financially positive year.
I like the way you put it, Ayo. Perfectly put. All right, Rotus, so what's the next one?
Try and build this one. Okay, it's might be a little tough, but if you can, try and build a credit line with a bank. Now you got to start small. Some of the banks use these USSD codes where you can get a bit of money, and then if you can pay it back, they will give you more down the line. And I know of people who have. The key thing here is that you want to build trust with your bank to show that you can actually pay back loans that you get from them. And I've spoken to a few people who have hundreds of thousands of naira with particular banks, some in the millions, and it is not for you to use. Unless you have an emergency, but there's just that feeling of knowing that if anything happens, especially a health emergency or something, you have that credit line just sitting there that you can draw. Now, the thing is, when you draw on a credit line, there is an interest cost to that. Some banks, they may give you a grace period where if you pay it back within, 20 days or less than 30 days, then you won't pay the interest on it. But if it goes over 30 days, then interest is applied. So there is an expense tied to it. That is the expense tied to the convenience of having that credit line. But I think a lot of people should explore that. I know interest rates are high in Nigeria, but if you can demonstrate the ability, and it's not just banks, there are a lot of other these fintechs and so on that offer these lines of credit. But the only hard part is that they start so small. Some of them will give you, very little amount of money to start with. But if you pay it back on time, you can now over months. Look, time flies. Here is 2023. If you had started this 5-10 years ago, imagine where you'll be now. So start now, within a year, within 2 years of constantly paying back those loans, you will build a healthy line of credit that you can depend on if any, you could be anywhere, car trouble, health scare, whatever. If a friend or family member needs some help, it's good to have a credit line, but you must pay it back. You must pay back that credit line the moment you draw on it.
That's the
caveat.
So that you don't have stories that touch, yeah. Now, insurance. It is in this, look, we had that story of that terrible accident or murder of that young lady who was pregnant at Ajah with the policeman. I hear she went to 2 or 3 hospitals and they couldn't take care of her because they wanted to pay or something like that. It's always good to have insurance with an HMO with particular hospitals around where you just have to show a card and you can get care immediately, right? Protect your health, insure your vehicle, insure your property, your laptop, my AirPods. I almost lost them, and my AirPods are insured because those things they are so tiny I can get lost easily, right?
Oh.
Insure all your items because the cost, the problem is that, look, insurance penetration in Nigeria is like 1%. It is so low because there are different reasons why people just, I guess they just, I guess they feel like I'm paying towards nothing, it's a concept that till today I don't know. I've tried this. People just I get pushback every time I tell people to get insurance. I get
Rotus, we
pushback.
live on vibes and optimism, but also insurance is key. And
Maybe
one thing that I don't think you mentioned, but I'd like to bring up is renter's insurance. Get renter's insurance if you don't own your own home, because I know someone whose the place they were renting burnt down.
Oh wow.
Well, not the whole thing, but
Wow.
parts of it, and they had their insurance. And so their insurance covered the repairs of everything, and covered the buying back of all the things that they had lost in the fire.
Amazing.
And so renter's insurance is a great thing to have for those
very
fiery moments.
Just imagine if they didn't have insurance. I mean, where would they have started from?
Oh,
you're done. You're finished. Some people are one accident away from bankruptcy, whether it's a fire burning down all your property or a health scare, or so you've got to protect yourself, because you just have to. So it's a no-brainer. Get insurance. Okay, now we can talk investing. See, I wanted to leave this until much later, but not much to say here.
Sorry, Rotus.
Just
really
go ahead.
Really quickly, can I also say, and the beautiful thing about insurance is that it can then be part of your budget, because for a lot of people, when they talk about budgeting, they're like, but you never know when your car is going to break down. You never know when this or that. If you put your insurance into your budget, so it's already taken care of should those let me not say eventualities, should those hypothetical incidents occur.
Yeah, exactly. Agreed. So very, very good idea. So then of course there's the investing side. So I talk about all the time. Just try out investing this year. Buy just one stock. Or just buy one and then just monitor it and see how it performs. Follow the markets, watch our shows. We talk about business and the stock market all the time. Try buying a bond, every new week of every new month. I'm not sure if they've offered it this week yet, because I know there was a holiday last week, so maybe to be next week. But the federal government offers a federal government savings bond, only 5,000 naira to invest. There's a 2-year and 3-year bond. You get interest payments, but it's not 5,000 may not be a lot of money, but it's something, and it gets you in that when you get your coupon payments, you see how the interest rate works. You see how you can build on it. Try and invest this year. So go into stocks, bonds, foreign exchange. I tell people, Chopin was saying earlier, when you get your salary or so on, distribute it to different accounts so you can monitor your spending or be disciplined. Also, buy some foreign exchange. The people I've talked to, Ugo Dre of Nairametrics, and he has said that the Naira could go to, I don't know, 800, 900, 1,000, who knows? So with the challenges ahead, with the new government coming in, where Nigeria's debt is, where we are now at 740, we started last year at 4, was it 450 or 550? It was 550. We started January of 2022. Now we're at 740. So who knows? Will we get to 900? So either way, just buy a few dollars, put it in your dorm accounts, buy a stock, monitor it, buy a bond, a treasury bill, get into investing, and it definitely helps. Try that out as well.
All right, we've got this message in from Habib, who says, loving today's personal finance. Fantastic and very helpful guidelines. Thank you for the love of the guidelines, Habib. Fantastic. Let us know which one is your personal favorite. Yeah,
exactly.
So investing, insurance investing, and there's one that I like that we'll get to later, but it's my mantra for 2023.
How many minutes do we have?
I think I know where you're going to.
Go get it, jump in. What's it? Jump in.
I said 2023. Neither a lender nor a borrower shall I be. Emphasis of the lender. No more lending.
At this point,
don't come to me. I don't need to hear the story.
I know the fights. The fights that happened in 2022 concerning borrowing and lending. And Rotus, what's your guideline on that actually?
Look, this thing is not easy. We know where we are with poverty. We know where we are with how many people we know are looking for work. We're all supporting somebody, right? It's really tough, and so you are more likely to have a request from a friend, a family member, to get a loan. The thing is, you gotta be, as Sope has said, I'd rather you don't loan anybody any money because it turns into something else. Only loan money that you can afford to party away with. And by the way, limit the scope of occurrences where you have to part away with that money. So probably only limited to family members. But funny enough, ironically, the counterpoint to what I'm saying is that if you loan money to a family member, then you're likely not to get it back again because it's a family member.
Let's not talk about that family member loaning. They're the people. No more, no longer. But what I'm gonna say is this, right? Yeah. So I've made it my that not loaning money to people does not mean that you're stingy or anything like that, because you can also just give money to people as opposed to loaning money, lending someone money, and then realizing sooner or later that you're not going to get it back. That puts like a different expectation on the money. And then, maybe you decide to go a little riskier or a little broader with the amounts that you lend, as opposed to money that you know that, okay, this is leaving my bank account, it's gone. And so you can put that will be part of your enjoyment budget that you're like, okay, this enjoyment turned into kindness, you know?
Right. Exactly.
So I'm just saying you don't need to lend money, but you can give money.
True, but excellent point. Another thing I want to add, do not be ashamed or afraid of writing out an agreement. And I will give you personal experience here. I loaned someone, and this person paid it back, and I was very happy, but we didn't know each other that well, and so on and so forth. I wrote out an agreement, the amount I borrowed, the interest. I applied the monetary policy rates, which I think is at 15%, but you can you can use an interest rate of much higher. Banks, if you go to a bank now, you get a loan of 25-30%, so feel free. But put an agreement, make them sign it, and it's not because in Nigeria, why now? Why are you a bank? Why will you write an agreement? What's going on? Alpha, I'm your guy, or I'm your girl. No,
the audacity.
Don't, feel free to put an agreement in writing, make them sign it, get a witness. That witness thing, some don't like it because they don't want other people to know that they're borrowing from you, but it helps to get at least one witness, or somebody that knows the both of you mutual, so that I say, look, I loan this person money. So this loan thing is so messy. Loans are messy, and so you just protect yourself, because
if you're gonna go down that route, then try and make sure that it is as official as possible, so that it doesn't become a case of he said, she said, and they deleted the WhatsApp messages. So Rotus, we've got like a minute and a half left. So let's say we've got a minute left. What else? Is there anything else that you wanted to put in real quick?
If you're gonna date somebody with money, this one we can extend this on next week another time. I'm sorry.
Oh my goodness.
Sorry.
Oh my
Conditions are too tight. No, hey, maybe we'll have a dating marriage episode. But look, Nigeria is hard right now. So shoulder all the finances in a relationship is not wise. So I'm just telling, I'm putting it out there. So yeah, I don't know if two of you want to chime in on that before we go, but yeah, that's it for me.
Hold on, someone sent in a message. Olufemi just said Rotus Microfinance Bank. Oh,
Rotus Microfinance Bank.
That's right.
Oh, okay.
That you're a microfinance bank. Love it. All right. On that dating thing, see, it works both ways. So, Rotus, I said date someone with money. I heard it was as though you were talking to the men folk, but you're also talking to the women folk.
Oh, no, but yeah, so the two.
Yeah.
Both of you must have.
Was also Rotus. Yeah, both of you, if you've been following the guidelines, you're both going to be on a budget. So also be understanding when the other person's budget runs out.
Exactly. Oh, we went to XYZ this month.
Exactly.
It's done.
It's done.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right. So I think that I don't think we need to do any more. We need to go into any more because you landed on a fantastic one. Yeah. Date someone with money.
Yes.
And very quickly,
Habib sent in another message and he says, Rotus, that table you are shaking.
All right, Rotus. If you want to go asking for more dating advice for your wallets, you can always find Rotus on Twitter, on Instagram at Rotankwood. And then when he's not there, he's on TV. And then if you find him in real life, you're very lucky. Ask him for an autograph or for some tips. Who knows? All right, so Rotus, it's been a blast. I can't wait to see what happens on the next personal finance. Maybe you'll be the dating one. I don't know.
That'll be fun. That'll be fun.
Yeah. All right. Have a wonderful evening.
And see you guys. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for coming, Rotus.
All right, people. Make sure you catch the replay up on YouTube.